Welcome to Go and See TV. In this video, we're going to show you the United Nations headquarters in New York City, another world-famous New York City icon that brings the world to New York City. Located along the East River, the United Nations headquarters is the cornerstone of the organization that serves all its member states. Situated along First Avenue, running between 42nd Street up to 48th Street, the UN headquarters was completed in 1952. It is one of the major sights to see in Midtown, New York. To recap, in Midtown, we've shown you the sights and glamour of Fifth Avenue, with its many luxury shopping destinations and numerous sites like Rockefeller Center and St. Patrick's Cathedral. And we've shown you one of the most famous and historic train stations in the United States, Grand Central Terminal, in the heart of Midtown, New York City. Along with Fifth Avenue and Grand Central Terminal, the UN headquarters is a definite must-see on your New York City trip. A short 10-minute walk from Grand Central Terminal along any street from 42nd to 48th Street will bring you to the UN headquarters along the East River. The land the United Nations headquarters is located on was purchased by the Rockefeller family, then donated to the City of New York, who then provided it to the United Nations for the construction of its headquarters. Construction of the main UN headquarters complex began in 1948 and was completed in 1952. The United Nations was created after the Second World War and is the successor to the League of Nations. The UN was designed in an effort to avoid the shortcomings of the League of Nations, with the objective of preventing another devastating world war like the Second World War, which had just ended. The UN complex consists of four main buildings: the General Assembly building, which is domed in on the left, the Secretariat, which is the glass tower, the conference building, which cannot be seen here, and the Dag Hammerskjold Library, which is on the right. There are also ancillary buildings outside the UN headquarters complex that house UN-affiliated institutions. Once you enter the UN headquarters complex, you will see various artwork and installations, such as the knotted gun sculpture named Non-Violence, which was a gift from the Luxembourg government. You can also see the Isaiah Wall at Ralph Bunche Park, just across from the UN on First Avenue, which carries the famous "Swords into Plowshares" quotation. Of course, no United Nations headquarters visit is complete without a tour of the headquarters. One of the most important bodies at the UN is the Security Council, which is comprised of the 5 veto-wielding powers that were the victors of the Second World War and 10 rotating members. On a logistical note, the conference building was being renovated at the time of filming, so the temporary Security Council chamber is shown here. It may not have the same powers as the Security Council, but just as well known and equally as important as a forum to build international consensus on important issues. The UN General Assembly is an impressive space where each UN nation member has an equal vote and discusses issues that affect all nations. The General Assembly holds sessions that begin in September, so if you're visiting New York City during that time, you'll often hear about those sessions on the news. During your visit to the United Nations headquarters, you will also learn a lot about the weapons proliferation, education, health, and humanitarian work that the United Nations engages in around the world through its affiliated organizations such as the World Health Organization and United Nations Human Rights Council. We hope you've enjoyed our visit to the United Nations, one of the most important multilateral intergovernmental organizations in the world. It is definitely an institution that makes New York City a global city, and literally brings the world to New York, to encourage cooperation and understanding among all nations. Instead of seeing the UN headquarters only on the evening news, be sure to go and see it for yourself on your next trip to New York City. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. If you would like to see a video on a specific New York destination, leave us a comment below, and be sure to check out our other videos on the sights and sounds you'll see in New York City, like our Fifth Avenue shopping and Grand Central Terminal videos.